I'm not much of a defensive football guy, but I don't have a problem watching a good old-fashioned defensive slobber knocker like we saw tonight. And the NCAA, they just might need to launch an investigation into Iowa football because they might have snuck into both of these two teams' hotel rooms and stole their offensive playbooks and swapped them out with theirs because we didn't get a single drop of offense in this thing until around the last 16 minutes of this game. This is a program-defining win for Eli Drinkwitz and Missouri football, taking down Ohio State 14-3 in the Cotton Bowl. I didn't have any expectations for Mizzou coming into this season. I thought they were a mid-team coached by a mid-head coach, and they proved me wrong, and they also proved odds makers wrong because they were projected to finish second to last in the SEC East this year. And I don't believe that this is a one-off season for Missouri. They got a really great coaching staff that Eli Drinkwitz has assembled down there. They got a strong recruiting class going into 2024. And with the college football playoffs expanding to 12 teams, I definitely expect this team to be in the mix for the foreseeable future. Meanwhile, for Ohio State, I knew they were cooked. As soon as I saw them throw out number 33 at quarterback, I was like, who the fuck is 33 at quarterback? Do they got their fullback or middle linebacker playing quarterback in this game? Like, anytime you're a QB and you're wearing a number outside of 1 through 18, I can't take you seriously. The last time I saw a quarterback have this ugly of a number, he was wearing number 98 for Michigan. I believe his name was Devin Gardner. Like, let me tell you guys a quick story. So, my freshman year playing high school football, our head coach was giving out jersey numbers before our preseason jamboree. And one of my friends, who was a cornerback, he got blessed with lucky number 47. And he was not happy about it. He was complaining to the coaches. And our coach had to get us all together and give us that whole speech about how it's not the number that makes the player, it's the player that makes the number. And that's always been bullshit to me because when you look good, you play good. And the quarterback play that we saw from Ohio State tonight was absolutely abysmal. Like, if this is what the Buckeyes have at QB going into 2024, they're in a lot of trouble. Like, Ryan Day right now needs to be on that flight home, working the transfer portal, offering any of the top transfer portal QBs anything they want when it comes to NIL compensation. Because this is not what we saw out of this team. And what's funny is that many OSU fans were trashing the starter who they had during the regular season, saying that he was mid, he wasn't good, he's the reason why they lost to Michigan. Well, based on what I saw tonight, Ryan Day, before they boarded that flight for this game, should have took him a little bit of a trip to Syracuse University, and he should have rented out that Honda Accord for one last drive, because if this is what they got at QB, this is absolutely terrible. They're going to have no shot at winning the Big Ten next year with these two QBs. You got Washington, USC, and Oregon coming into that conference, and you got to play Penn State and Michigan. Like, there's no way you're going to survive with this abysmal of a quarterback room. They need to get this solved ASAP. He needs to be working them phones trying to get Cam Ward, Will Howard, whoever to come to Ohio State, because these two QBs we saw tonight are not going to cut it. Like, you got number 33 at quarterback. I hope he chose that number and they didn't give it to him, because if they did, that's disrespectful. You really going to give your QB1 for your bowl game number 33? Like, what the hell? And I get it that they hand out the numbers before the season starts, but I knew Ohio State was fucked when they had 33 at QB. Then his ankle gets rolled over, and they got a true freshman coming in there, and he didn't look too bad. He made a couple of big throws in the fourth quarter, but ultimately, Ohio State's offense was ineffective in this game. And where the hell was Travion Henderson? You should have just let him just run Wildcat quarterback for the majority of your snaps on offense, because he was the only one who was really consistent for you on offense and being able to generate a little bit of momentum for you on that side of the football. And what kept me so glued to this game was that both of these two teams were struggling offensively. So I wanted to know, like, whose defense was going to be able to win them the game. And at one point, I thought it was going to be Ohio State. Like, JTT, Jack Sawyer, oh my goodness. They were torturing Missouri's offensive tackles. Like, torturing these dudes. JTT, after seeing him playing this game, he should be a top 10 pick in next year's draft. And they did have Marvin Harrison Jr. and Tommy Eichenberg opt out of this game. but he still had a good amount of their starters who played. So I would have thought that this team would have performed a little bit better than what we saw tonight. And like I said, the defense played good, but the offense was not it. Missouri, Brady Cook, he struggled for the first 3 quarters, but in the 4th quarter, he came alive. He was finally able to get a big play downfield to one of their young receivers going into the 4th quarter, which ultimately led to that Cody Schrader touchdown. And how about Cody Schrader and what he's been for Mizzou this year? He's been the heart and soul of that Mizzou team. Like, this dude was torturing Georgia. Anytime you can torture Georgia on the ground, you're a very good running back. And Brady Cook, he was pretty good when he was running with the ball himself. I thought that they should have called more designed QB runs with them. And Mizzou's defense, they showed up just like OSU's defense did. Their defensive line was causing hell of havoc. And Ohio State, on their O-line this year, that definitely has been a major weakness and why they lost to Michigan this past season. Because here's the thing. OSU normally has pretty good offensive line play. But the interior line play this year was And you definitely saw it on display in this game, going against one of the better defensive lines in the SEC. This is the same Missouri team that was giving Georgia a little bit of some fits when they played them. And I was never surprised with the final outcome of this game. Like, as soon as I saw Marvin Harrison Jr. not playing in this game and they threw 33 out there at QB, I texted my homie and I said, hey, man, you need to take the under for this game. The under was 51 and something points. And Missouri, they won this thing 14-3. I had them winning outright, and I had them covering. Missouri was a really underrated football team this year. And I really hope that we can see them in the expanded playoffs come next year. This, at one point, used to be one of the better programs in college football. When they first came into the SEC, they came out swinging. They had some really good they had some really good teams. And as a diehard college football fan, watching this game for the last 12 years of my life, watching Missouri play was always a little bit nostalgic to me. Because I remember when this team used to be damn near a powerhouse in this conference when they first got into this thing. So the fact that Eli Drinkwitz now has Missouri football trending up makes me a little happy, because I like always having some positive memories to reflect back on from my childhood, because I love my childhood. I had a pretty good childhood, and Missouri was a big part of it. Now, I'm not a Missouri fan by any stretch of imagination, but I always enjoyed watching them in my early days of first getting into college football, because I thought they had the best jerseys in the sport at one point, better than the Oregons. So Missouri getting this win is major for this program moving forward. And I get that there's a narrative that some people throw around that bowl momentum isn't really that big of a thing, and there's some truth to that. But for a program like Missouri that hasn't had this amount of success in the last decade, this is huge for them. And it definitely gives them a huge confidence boost going into the 2024 college football season, when things are going to get really spicy with the arrival of Oklahoma and Texas. For Ohio State, this bowl game definitely should be a reality check to Ryan Day that, hey, your ass need to get you a damn quarterback, and you need to do it fast. You got KJ Jefferson out there. Will Howard is still available. Cam Ward is still waiting for the right deal to come around. You need to get one of those dudes if you want to give yourself a chance of winning the Big Ten next season. So Missouri takes down Ohio State 14-3 in the Cotton Bowl. Let me know what you guys think about this game down in the comment section down below. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content, and I will see you guys shortly with another video.